Hey friends, we've got a new blog out about hormonal reasons for weight gain. And if you're struggling with your weight, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. So unfortunately, weight is not as simple as like eating less or exercising more. It's actually pretty complex. So our weight is also affected by toxicity, definitely 100%, by stress, by fluctuations in hormones, which can be caused by lots of things. So the new blog is called kind of 3 hormonal patterns that cause weight gain. So I'm going to go over those and you can read the blog for more information. So number 1 is high cortisol leading to low insulin, leading to increased blood sugar. So what high cortisol, you're supposed to have a certain high-ish amount of cortisol in the morning, and then it goes down naturally to the evening when you sleep. But when you're stuck in high cortisol because you're having stress or perceived stress, your body will want to have more sugar available for energy and like protecting yourself and reacting. So that's meant to be kind of temporary, or again, just higher in the morning when you have energy and then goes down. But if it stays up like that higher blood sugar, you're not going to be able to use it all. You're going to become insulin resistant, and you can store energy in the liver is like globs of fat in the liver for fatty liver, or just gain weight. So that's kind of a stress management issue, but how do you know if you have it or not? Because so many of us feel we're stressed. Sometimes we still feel we're stressed, but cortisol is low. So that's something you can find out through our Dutch test, and I'll talk more about that later. Number 2 is high estrogen with kind of a poor detox pattern. So you may know that estrogen is sort of a hormone of growth. It grows your uterine lining, it grows your breasts and your hips when you hit puberty. But we don't want too much. Too much estrogen can be growth, excess weight. And then the little bit of side trouble is that body fat produces estrogen. So it's kind of a self-perpetuating cycle. Once you get some extra weight, then you're producing more estrogen. So you can have estrogen dominance because of too much estrogen production as well. And that can be because of mold or other toxicities or nutrient deficiencies or some genetic tendencies. You produce a lot of estrogen, and that can create some estrogen dominance. Or as you go through perimenopause, like I'm going through, your progesterone comes down. That can come down from stress as well, and then estrogen can kind of dominate. So there's different patterns. Some things that are meant to help you clear estrogen are your liver and your gut. So if those aren't healthy, whether it's from mold or from gut infections or toxic lifestyle, whatever, you cannot be clearing estrogen well, and then it's recirculating. So there's lots of ways that estrogen can become high and lots of effects it can have in your body, and one of them can be extra weight. A third pattern is low thyroid, which can decrease metabolism. So low thyroid can also have constipation with it, hair loss, feeling cold, fatigued, foggy thinking. It can also increase a hormone called sex hormone binding globulin, which means you have less testosterone in circulation, which just sort of a side note, but then that less testosterone can create increased body mass. That's been studied as well. So that can kind of increase with age, that sex hormone binding globulin, but also with this low thyroid pattern. So those are a few things to test and know about. And unfortunately, we can't always intuitively know what our patterns are. That's why we offer testing. That's kind of a hallmark of functional medicine. So I wanted to introduce you to a few tests today. First is the Dutch test. It's a home test. Comes in a little tiny envelope like this. You just do it at home with peeing on some strips, and then you send it back. It always includes a consultation with us so you can really understand it and take action, whether your issue is weight gain or some other issues as well with mood, depression, sleep, anything like that. And then the second test, and then the report looks a little bit like this. Well, it looks like this. So I wanted to show you an example. Second test includes our thyroid markers we talked about. This is an old test of mine. So thyroid is really run as a blood test, and that's a very accurate way to test as long as you're getting all the markers. So our Thyroid Plus testing package will test all your thyroid markers, including markers of autoimmunity, but it also tests your blood sugar, your iron levels, your vitamin D, and your white blood cell count. So I'm so thankful I set the test up this way, because sometimes your thyroid isn't as bad as you think. Many people are borderline, though, I will say that. But sometimes the blood sugar is really not where we want it to be, especially with age. So that's often something my clients have to work on, even though they have these kind of healthy diets. So we work on detox or intermittent fasting, that kind of a thing that can make a difference with weight loss. That iron score can make a difference with energy. And then white blood cell just gives us a little hint about, how our immune system, what it's dealing with. And then vitamin D is just always a good one to know. And then the third test I wanted to mention is our GI map. It's a bigger box because you have to collect your own poop. And then once you send it back, you'll get a report that looks like this. It's a really long report, actually, for parasites, bacterial overgrowth, yeast, leaky gut, that kind of a thing. It's a really fantastic test. So I'm mentioning all three of these because one option, if you're having trouble with your metabolism, is to run all three of these tests. As I mentioned, gut health is one thing that helps you clear estrogen. And I just had a client the other day who's dealing with weight issues, and she's got this enzyme elevated from her stool test that lets us know she's letting estrogen back into circulation, as well as other toxins. So gut is so foundational for health. Just can create a lot of inflammation and stuff in the body. Thyroid, blood sugar, like I mentioned, are great to know about for issues of stubborn weight. Again, you can't assume you've got that all dialed in. And then the Dutch test is so fantastic for anyone dealing with hormonal issues, because our hormones are always changing throughout our lifetime. So sometimes it's just time to check in and see what are they doing right now and how can I support them. So at the time of taking this video, these tests are on sale. You can buy the Dutch by itself, or you can buy the 3 tests. We call that the big 3. If you buy all 3 together, then we give you $150 off during this little sale period. And that comes with an 1.5-hour consultation. So we're really going to get into your stuff. Each consultation we do comes with a written plan, really detailed instructions. So sometimes what I see with at-home testing, because now you can order more and more, is people get the results and they really don't know what to do about it. So we make sure that's not the case. And then it's just your job to take action and make change in your body. And we're happy to kind of coach and support you along that way. Thanks for watching.